Hello, art students. So today I'm going to go over everything that's going to happen for you to complete your still life drawing. So the learning objective for this project is that students will understand and recognize the elements of art and principles of design, and students will engage in an art analysis discussion. So that's just a fancy way of saying that you're going to know how to use the elements of art and principles of design in this project, and you're also going to be able to analyze your artwork. So you can see the lesson outline over here. First, we've got the overview. We're going to practice doing value scales. I know most of you have done them before, but the more you do them, the better you are at controlling and creating different values. So we're going to do some of those. And then we're going to practice drawing 3D shapes. And I have some techniques that I'm going to show you that will specifically help you with drawing 3D shapes, which of course will help you with your still life because you're going to want it to look three-dimensional. And then I have this video clip here. It's not that long, and it's just a still life demo. It kind of gives you tips on how to go about drawing a still life. Now, yours is not going to be exactly like the one in the video, but the tips it gives you will help you with your still life. Now, this video is just one that I found on YouTube. Typically, when I show you a demo video, it's usually one that I have created, but I really like this video, so I've used this one instead. Then you're going to start your still life drawing, and as always, when you're done with your artwork, you're going to write your artist statement where you explain your artistic process to me, everything you did to make it look the way it does, what was hard about the project, what was easy for you, things like that. And then you will be done and ready to submit your artwork to me. The supplies you're going to need for this project are paper, pencil, eraser, and still life objects. So that can be any objects that you want in your still life. If you're in my classroom, I have some. If you are doing this at home virtually, then you will have to find some objects on your own. Okay, so some terms you need to know. Now, we've talked about value before, but as you know, is an element of art, and it is the lightness or darkness of something. Now, for this project, we're going to be using value to create a sense of depth, so our drawings look three-dimensional. Observational drawing is pretty simple. It's drawing what you see, and that's what we're going to be doing. So drawing what you see directly in front of you is different than drawing from a picture. Representational means of life, so it looks like something in the natural world. And then the definition of still life is a display set up as subject matter for a work of art. So that could be objects, fruits, or plants. And if you don't know what subject matter, it's what the object is depicting. So depending on what is in your still life, that will make up your subject matter. So it's whatever the artwork is showing us. Now, for your value scale, you're going to use many different values to help create a sense of depth in your artwork, and you want to make sure you have a wide range of value. So you don't want all your values to be really close together. You want to use some really, really dark values, some medium gray values, and you also want to use some really, really light values and maybe even white space in some of your artwork. Okay, so this is the most important tip that I give people whenever they start a complex drawing, and it's important whether you're doing a still life or you're drawing a person. When you're drawing something from the natural world, so you're drawing something and you're looking at something to draw it, you want to make sure you break it down. And what I mean by that is when you're drawing from observation, it's important to break down complex shapes into simpler forms. So you can see what I mean by that in this picture here. So we're looking at, looks like this bottle here, plastic bottle, and then you have a glass Pepsi bottle, a ball, and a Kleenex box. So when you look at those things, you know, the shapes might look a little more complex, maybe except for the circle here. That one's kind of simple. But when you break down the complex forms into simpler shapes, you can see that this bottle is made up of a cylinder and a cone. This is a rectangular prism. This is a cylinder that's rounded on the top, so it has a sphere on the top. It makes it easier to get your drawing to look more accurate. So if you draw these shapes first and then go in and add the detail later, it'll make it look more realistic. So like I said, you're going to do some practice forms first to help you prep for your still life. Here's another example of breaking down shapes. But that really is the most important step, is making sure you're breaking it down into simple shapes first.